What is up, guys? Welcome to State of the Game episode number 100. We made it. And yes, there's actually 100 episodes here, Sean. I didn't just make this up.
You know, I will say, for someone who's made it to episode 100, there were a whole series of impressive feats that happened back-to-back, in fact. The first one being at 8 p.m. Jeff said, do you want to tweet that JP's not here? Should I tweet that JP's not here? And I was like, no, I'll let you handle it, you know, because my phone is like broken. And then JP gets in and sits down. And he's like, so what do you guys want to talk about? And I'm like, it's your show. So we sit down and we decided that what we should talk about is that JP didn't know what we should be talking about.
How did so you bought a ticket to come into San Francisco?
Yeah, wait a minute.
At any point, like on the plane, did you sit there and go like,
I play Nintendo
what do I
want
to talk about? You Nintendo on the plane?
He was on his DS. He's like, I'm going to level up all the Pokemon.
I've never played Pokemon before. I was playing Fire Emblem on the plane.
I'm going to level up all the Pokemon.
It's a pretty good game.
Everyone understand?
Yeah, but there's no planning, really.
I guess I wouldn't have any other way.
Have we ever planned for a drunk State of the Game? No. We really just show up and stuff happens.
Yeah,
sometimes I wish we did plan.
Could have used some plans.
But then
I
all
think,
of the
I think
amazing
not
things.
having the porn star on would have
At
been
least
one
a
of the
little
plans.
caution could have helped.
I think if I recall correctly, you were the reason that she showed up.
No, I'm to blame for sure.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back. I wish I could go back in time.
It's like, JP, look, if the show was planned like it should have been, we wouldn't have had the porn star that I brought on.
You know,
I need structure in my life, okay? Like, I need someone to say, Jeff, that's a dumb idea. I still haven't found that person just yet.
Oh, God.
But that's good. You know, the first step is taking responsibility. I mean,
Yeah.
like one time I drop-kicked this woman's dog, and as it was mid-flight, I was like, that was wrong.
Did that really happen?
I'm sorry. I should... Totally. Yes, JP. I went
That's
to a
Anchorman, I think.
Step one, I
okay.
left my house. Totally not true, right? But there I was in this false story, drop-kicking a dog, and I felt horrible, and I let her know that.
Cool.
So the show's going great thus far.
Show's great so
JP,
far. So, yeah.
you know,
I was late to the show because I took Tyler and his wife out to dinner. We went to Roy's. It was lovely.
Very nice dinner.
What's Roy's?
It was like this Hawaiian fusion restaurant.
Hawaiian fusion.
It's pretty good. We both
Hawaiian
had.
fusion, you said?
Fusion.
Sounds like way too complex of a word for that kind of a restaurant.
It was
Yeah.
Hawaiian.
Maybe that's.
Fused with what?
Oh, no.
You guys didn't get that far in the menu?
No.
Dude, we both ordered steaks.
I'll have the
both got
mahi
steak.
mahi. Would you like the mahi mahi or the mahi? I don't know. What would you fuse that with? What was it fused with?
The Mahi Bionic Sensor Tracker, man. That's some fusion right there.
I don't know.
You know, JP, I think that at the start of a show, one of the best things to do is to introduce who's on there.
Yeah.
Should
Yes.
we? Should we
Yes.
introduce people?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, actually,
Let's do a traditional start.
yeah.
All right. Well, Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm glad you could be here. Thanks for coming and hanging out. You know, like 30 minutes from your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good that you're here. Tyler, thank you for coming here. It's like an hour trip.
Thank you for coming
You're
here.
welcome.
It was good. I'm glad you made the trip. Sean, you actually came from LA, but you were already up here in San Fran or something like that. So thank you for like coming for like an hour away from where you were.
He took his helicopter up here.
Yeah,
the
that's
Day 9
true.
helicopter.
Yeah, I mean,
The
I
helicopter.
I didn't do dailies this week leading up to State of the Game, which was hard because I didn't have enough money to refuel, you know, my private jet.
Right.
So I actually had to, you know, drive.
Don't you actually liquidate $100 bills to fuel that jet? Don't you? Is that what?
Yeah.
It
yeah.
only runs on hundreds.
Yeah, and
If
every
you give it a one, it just starts dropping immediately.
yeah, I was really excited.
Warning. We are reaching Warcraft 3 levels.
I-
I don't even know.
No negativity
Sean.
on this cast. You don't have to say no. You just go. Low upkeep, make way too much money. High upkeep takes money away from you.
Yeah.
It's the equalizing factor. Actually, I'm curious. Did you guys play Warcraft 3? And
I
because when I played,
didn't
I was
play.
like, "What if I expand?" It's like you didn't expand. You're not making any money.
I've never played an
I did
RTS
not,
in my
no.
life, Sean.
No.
Let's be real
I
here.
played StarCraft Brood
yeah.
War.
The first LAN that I went to, Warcraft 3 had just come out. My computer
Ah.
couldn't run it, and so I was like, I'm going to play this game. And then there was like no macro. So I stopped.
I
Never played it again.
Well, that's
after
reasonable.
that.
Yeah, like
My run-in with Warcraft 3 was at WCG, I want to say 2007. You remember when WCG used to stick you with a random roommate? They're just like, you're with this guy.
oh yeah.
I was with some guy named Nick Rainish, the Warcraft 3 player. And
no.
later, he would go on to become the #2 best MLG commentator in-house.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's number one?
Axel Toss.
That's amazing.
I don't
that
have a
you
joke here, guys. I expected more laughter or something like that. I don't know.
I just kind of looked at everyone else as like, shit.
JP,
This show is
are
a
you gonna
disaster,
introduce
man.
us?
This
Look,
is,
I just
you
wow.
only thanked us for coming
And our first
here.
awkward stay the game transition. Thank you.
Nobody
There
knows
it
who
is.
we are.
Yeah,
That's
no
your
one
job.
knows who you are. Exactly. Look, Jeff, he's a player for Team Evil Geniuses, captain, kind of a do-it-all for the team, really. What else are you doing for EG these days besides everything?
Commentating the SC2L.
With me sometimes. Yeah, Air
Making
5.
sure that machine
Come
self-esteem
on.
doesn't get too high.
Do
It's
it.
one of my all-time. It's a really important
He's not
job.
doing it.
He just ignored.
Come here.
What?
Are you familiar with the
Thank you.
alchemist character in Dota 2?
Oh, yeah.
I have that kind of relationship with Huck. I'm the big guy. He's the.
Let's just have our own
So does he? That means he controls you then.
fine.
I'm a little bit of a
They can't hear
Hodor
us.
sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Not all the
can't.
time. That's just my
Dude.
part-time job.
Everyone on the
Yeah.
stream can.
Okay.
Dude,
What
if you
are
played-
these assholes talking about?
They're into mic talking though. So
See, this is the worst part: is we can't actually hear when they whisper like that.
that's what they think. I can hear him totally fine.
What did we just say?
You know what? Let's go around the horn. Tyler, I understood you did a pretty cool stream session recently. Want to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, can you show us?
you
Can
do
you show us that dance?
Dude,
line,
I
actually?
think it's a little early in the night for that.
Do the twist.
Maybe a little bit later.
I can't believe here. I can't believe how well you played for how drunk you were. Actually, there's one
Thank you.
game I tuned in, and it was on Whirlwind, top left, top right, and you actually fucking six-gated this kid, and it looked like you couldn't feel anything below your elbows. Like you were just like, fucking force fields now. in the North American, the Zerg guy, he fell for it. He was like getting his socks rocked, and you just started like giggling. You're like, it's working. Like,
I amazed
pretty good.
myself with how well I can play drunk. I beat Select that one game. I don't know if you saw that.
Dude,
I had a unique
even Select
celebration.
That was the
tweeted.
dance.
Select was like, look what happened when Tyler beat me in the GIF.
And
But,
then, you know what's typical though? The next time I played him on ladder sober, he kicked my ass.
Go figure. Like,
that's the
Standard.
way it goes.
That's how it happens, I guess.
I'm the drunken master, I guess.
So Tyler, he's the drunken master, formerly of Team Liquid. Now
Yeah.
kind of just doing his own thing, streaming a lot. What else
Yeah.
have you been up to?
Mostly streaming, man.
Yeah,
My stream's going pretty well.
is it?
Yeah, you should tune in when I'm sober. Trust me.
What's the Twitch TV link? And then we'll just, I guess, kick you off the show because we did the shoutouts.
Twitch.tv/NONY, which I pronounce Noonie and everybody else says Noni.
that is not how that letter works. It's
No,
an O. An O has never been like an ooh sound.
But
except for in
here's-
Spoon,
But that's
Well,
two O's. Two O's
maybe
is like
there's
not
two
the
in
same as
Noni.
one O.
Noonie.
Here's the thing, though.
I think there's one.
That's
There's
exactly
one.
why we spelled it that way. We meaning me and my brother, because he's the one that came up with the name.
He has a
All
brother.
right,
Yeah.
You have a brother?
I have a
Twin
brother.
brother. It's a twin brother.
You have a twin
You
brother?
have a twin brother?
It's not a twin.
He was
brother.
part of a
brother.
triplet. You were part of a triplet?
It's octuplets.
Wow, there's
Yeah. Holy
7
shit.
more of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're all variations of Tyler too, like different spellings.
It's like Noni and Boney and Tony and Sony.
T-I-L-E-R.
Anyway,
T-I-double-L.
100 episodes. Never knew he had a
he
brother.
talked about how to say the name. Well, I mean, he came up with the name without deciding how to say it, right? But then
Can I-
he had to decide how to spell it, and we thought it would be funny to spell it in a stupid way.
Can I ask you something?
he-
In what circumstance are you guys creating words? Was this like a language you guys devised, or
No,
were
it's
you,
just a nickname.
you were like Peter? What should I call myself? And he's like Nurny, but spelled with one O. And you're like, okay.
I love the idea that he just shows the 4 letters and it's like, okay, here are the letters, but I don't know what to do now. How does it come out of the mouth? And you were like, Noonie. And they were like, oh, it totally isn't pronounced like that.
No, it was said for years before we ever put it on paper. That's what I meant to say. Is that it was vocal, it was a spoken only language, right? We didn't write the words, and then because when you were a kid, everyone when they were learning English, they were like, "This language is such bullshit because
I totally.
you pronounce it one way and
This
it's
is the
spelled
best
another way."
answer
And we
to
were
this
like, That's
question.
how we're gonna do this name, and we're gonna spell it in a really stupid way, and so we put only one O.
How old were you guys?
Like
This was like 4
10
weeks
and
ago,
7.
actually.
You guys lived in
Or
Texas.
younger than that,
Texas,
actually.
right?
this was in Florida.
Yeah, same thing.
You don't?
Yeah.
That's not Texas. That's
Well, same thing.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing.
Tyler, Tyler,
you
your
can kill
name's
people a little bit easier in Florida. In Texas, the state does it for you. What? You don't know that?
No,
Oh,
that's
you're
actually
Texas
true.
Too. I
It's
forgot.
actually true.
Yeah.
No, I will
lots
agree
Of people
that-
executed there, my friend. Lots.
Yes. No, a lot. A lot. Yeah.
Tyler, your name's fucking NonY, man.
You know what though? I have my new idea is the coolest idea ever,
Oh, God.
which is totally underused. Ha ha ha! It's the perfect ID, because no matter what happens on ladder, and I've watched your stream, there are a lot of times when you get pissed off, when you should just be laughing it off. And if your ID was ha ha ha, it would be a lot easier.
If my name
It's
was ha
changed
ha
my
ha,
lifestyle.
Dude, I would punch my hole through the monitor every time I lost because my name's
his
ha
hole
ha
through
ha. Like I have like a silly name and I just got rolled and be like, no.
Every time you mess up, or every time someone talks shit to you or anything, your response can always just be ha ha ha, and they're like, oh yeah, he's saying that because that's his ID. It's like the easiest response. Like you can laugh at anybody, but nobody can get pissed off about it because they're like, oh, that's his shtick.
And what they don't know is that you and your brother pronounce it ha ha ha.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that, do I get it?
No. We pronounce it ki like the Korean.
Jesus. Well, thank you, Tyler, for that long introduction.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Everybody
God.
knows me now.
Exactly. Well, last but not least on the show, Day 9, I think probably the person that's gone outside of StarCraft. Everyone knows who you are, so I don't even know how to introduce you. You're just the StarCraft guy.
Hi guys, I'm the StarCraft guy.
It's a
I was
StarCraft
recently
guy.
playing XCOM, and I didn't realize how unfair things in life could feel.
He sucks at XCOM. He's really fucking bad at XCOM.
Wait, no, am I really terrible?
You got me killed like 4 times. You had to recreate
dude,
my
that
character.
was your fault, man. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about JP. I don't know if what happened to your character, but totally is now in this story. So I'm playing. For any of you who don't know XCOM, it's like a tactical strategy game. Like, you have a squad of 4 at the start of the game. I assume that later on you get more, but I've never gotten there.
Yep.
So you have 4 guys, you move them one at a time, then your turn's done, and the enemy moves their dudes, and then it's your turn, and so on and so forth. So you gotta like stutter step and walk them forward and have them like on the lookout to shoot all the baddies when they show up. So I was playing, like literally no one is paying attention to this.
No, no, I'm listening.
Like,
I'm
literally
look.
not a soul.
Please tell us the basics of XCOM. Go on.
Yes, dude. I think so fascinating. So yeah, I was playing on Classic. I was playing on Iron Man, which means you can't save. It just like auto saves every turn, so you can't go back. And then like 2 thin men appear, and one of them just shoots and one-shots my dude, and then JP fucking panics and shoots the VIP, which caused another one of my dudes to panic, who shoots and kills one of my other guys. So like in one turn, like my whole team died.
Yeah, that's XCOM.
Yeah, and like no one in chat was sympathetic. They were just like, yeah, you got XCOM'd.
I was actually watching your stream when you first started it up, and you
Brutal.
were selecting the difficulty level, and the description was something like, for experienced XCOM players.
Yeah, it was like my first
and
time
that's
playing.
what you chose? Of
course.
And
I
the
told
whole
him
time
not-
I was like, this guy is about to get screwed.
Yeah, no, I told him, I was like, Sean, whatever you do not play on Classic. It's a really hard game when you first start up.
Yeah,
That
man.
game's funny though because I found it was like you didn't want to play it on too easy of a difficulty because it's kind of a shallow game. Like
Yeah.
when I first played it, I'm that guy that does play it. I don't play it on. I never played
Oh,
easy, but
I
like
think
normal.
everyone here started on like Classic probably.
I've never
I played
the
one
game.
down. It was like normal.
And
or
then they
whatever.
realized that it's actually really fucking hard and they turned it down.
It was too easy, and then I played it one up, and then that was too hard. But then I just saved after every turn. I cheated it as all get out.
Oh, so you didn't even play on Classic?
No, Iron Man is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, sorry, Iron Man. Yeah,
Wow.
you are correct.
I just wanted to get my guys super god mode where they're in the spandex suits with the big laser guns, and then
Yeah.
you can eventually make them into fairies that fly up in the sky and then shoot from down up there. Or
Yeah.
up down there. One of those.
Something like that.
It's pretty cool.
They shot some direction.
Is it me or is it like 1,000 degrees on? Up
It's
here?
really hot.
Oh, it's really
So
hot.
welcome to
SC2L hell.
You know what? I'm just like, look. Okay, so here's the rule: you can't wipe off any sweat during this cast. I've
We
been
couldn't
doing it.
get
Oh, God.
real stage lights, so instead we just had burning infernos focused in on us that create
We
light.
have giant magnifying glasses.
This is actually.
that are
like, this-
harnessing
I
the
feel like
sun.
I'm being interrogated by God. Like it's like so intense.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
All right, so no wiping away the sweat.
No, you just gotta sweat.
Oh, I
like-
seriously? No,
I'm not even sweating.
Well,
Oh,
you're
shut up, Chill Toss.
that's because he's the chill toss.
I knew that joke was coming, so I just said it before you even could.
You're like, here's the punchline. Now, moving ahead.
Yeah, moving ahead. So StarCraft 2, not XCOM.
We've talked about like every game but Starcraft.
So the state of the game,
State of the game, it started 100 episodes ago. The first people on the show, I think, were myself, Day9, Louder. Do you remember Louder?
David Fells.
David Fells? And,
Somebody else, though. Who was the other one?
Artosis was the other one. Who's the other one?
No, not from the very beginning.
Oh, he was on the first show. We talked about his match against Louder, and Dan
really?
was really pissed off that he lost.
Of course he was.
And
He
that
was like-
tradition would continue forever.
Yeah, Dan was pissed off that he lost to Roaches, I believe. Or maybe he made Roaches, and he was pissed off he lost to Force Fields.
Dan started as Zerg.
Yeah, he started as Zerg. That's
David
right.
was Protoss, so it
Yeah.
must have been ZVP.
Wow.
He was upset about the Force Fields, I think.
I thought it was Dan started as Terran and then was 100% convinced that Zerg was the best race. And he not only talked himself into switching to Zerg, but also
Greg.
talked Idra into
Yeah.
switching to Zerg.
Yeah.
And then later on was like, dude, Protoss is the best race. And now he's been with Protoss ever since.
He might have been Terran in like the early meta, but he was Zerg pretty early on.
Yeah, it was very early because you got to remember when King Hillbilly Mothership rushed.
Oh shit, Hillbilly!
Yeah,
forgot
I
about
remember
guy.
that.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's actually
Yeah.
right. I
King-
thought you were making a joke about someone, but no, there's actually
No, yeah,
KHP.
like for any of you who don't, just look
Those are
up
good times.
Look up the Mothership Rush, not the Mothership Core, like a Mothership Rush, like the highest.
Kulaw's Ravine and shit.
Yeah, it was on Steps of War, and
Yeah.
the Mothership Core. The Mothership warps in, and Artosis types what? WAT. He's like,
Is that the first episode?
Nice.
This is the first episode. So listen to my intro of the first episode.
oh, this is.
Hey
Listen-
guys, it's
No, hold on. This,
Wait, hold on.
I've listened to this intro a couple times. I think this is coming through on the stream. We'll get confirmation here in a second, but the intro is so fucking bad.
Well, dude,
Well,
there's
this one was really good.
This one was
So
awesome.
that's-
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's break this down.
What's up, everybody? This is JP McDaniel. You might know me from the MLG Showcase series. Casted quite a few matches.
My voice
and
is so
This
different.
is going to be kind of the
Not
first
tasteless
test
different, though.
podcast.
That's
Have you been smoking, JP?
State of the Game StarCraft 2 beta podcast. It is April 1st, April Fool's Day, and you'll probably have
It started on
You
April
found that pretty
Fools.
funny. It's like April Fool's Day. Wow.
today.
That was
Day
funny.
9 daily that was kind of an April Fool's joke in itself. So, you of course, know that laugh right there.
Oh
is
God.
Sean,
Oh God.
Day
I'm
9
on the show.
vlog
There's
is on the
nothing
show.
worse than me, like listening to
not too
me.
much, just enjoying myself.
Oh,
I
God.
sincerely hope
Yeah,
a
I
lot
agree.
of people realize that my cast today was an April Fool's cast. So we'll see what the backlash
What did you
is.
do for that episode? I don't remember.
Also
I
joining us
hate
today, we
listening to
have
myself.
David,
First, let me say,
PG
like, I
Fells,
hate it
TG,
more than
SC2
anything.
member, and
Like
also
every
Go-
time,
Go to
every time I hear
coaching.com
myself,
member. What's going on
God,
there?
what is it?
Hold on, we got to hear Artosis first.
And
Oh,
last
yes,
but not
please.
least, we've got Dan Artosis Stemkowski, and I can't believe I said your name right because I'm really notorious for fucking names up. But what's going on, Dan?
Wow, that was a really good job. I don't think you've ever said my name out loud before, but
That's not Artosis, that's Wolf.
I'm doing good.
That
man.
does sound like Wolf.
And last but not least, I did say that I'm not even going to.
All right, that's enough of that. I can't listen to that anymore.
All right,
that-
let's go through the
that-
other 99 episodes too.
No, that,
I don't
that
have
intro. That intro was so much better than today's intro. That,
Oh, yeah,
that was a
today-
great
yeah.
intro, actually.
Can you even call today's intro an intro? It was more just like, let's turn the
Yeah.
fucking stream on.
well, no matter what
Let's
it
flip
is,
the
it's an
switch.
intro.
I guess it's the
Yeah.
intro of the stream, yeah, but that was not a proper intro by any
I
means.
agree.
So, we're going to be taking calls from the community.
Yes.
This has always been something that it's worked. Let's just say that. It hasn't worked well.
It's always been one of the most successul aspects of State of the Game.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have
We've got Boris. Boris first one.
who called off, and
I mean, I could
Cut
just
your
pull it
cock
up
off?
right here.
yeah, he was a member of the Kachikakov lineage.
Let's just bring it up. It's already
Certainly created the most memorable moments.
Oh God, I laughed so hard.
Memorable is kind of objective.
Ask your question.
My name is Boris Kachukakov. I am in Gold League, rank 64. And I would like your strategies to beat famous Six Pool.
Wait a second.
That's pretty good.
What's up?
These fucking Redditors said I interrupted him. I didn't interrupt him once. This whole time I've been living with guilt, JP.
Leshkov or something like that. That would be good.
My father would not appreciate your words.
Good farther and nothing of
I think we were
I was
just
very cordial.
I think you were
Let
good.
him speak.
He hung up or
That
something
hurts.
like that.
You guys have created so
might.
much anxiety for me. Every
Man,
time they mention
I'm
Boris, I'm like, maybe this time iNcontroL won't interrupt him.
You're interrupting him right now.
Well,
That's the ironic thing.
son of a bitch.
So now when they make the highlight of us
They knew
talking
it!
about Boris, it's fucking in control. Wouldn't
Fucking
let him talk the second
time-traveling
time.
Redditors. I'm so
Dude, you
tired
cut
of
off
that shit.
Kachikakov.
I did interrupt the playback of iNcontroL listening to Kachikakov talk about State of the Game. Yes.
That happened. That happened.
Listen, that's like, you guys, I'm going to make like 3 snarky posts now on Reddit. 3 of them.
That's the debt that they're.
That's the threat. But I always post in snarky ways anyways, so it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
that's true. That's true.
That was a good time, and I was able to hear everything he said because nobody interrupted him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we were
we'll
there.
have more call-ins.
Yeah, we're gonna have more call-ins. I think the number, if you can bring it up on the somehow.
Conrad on
Wait,
production.
is there a
Conrad?
phone number?
There's a phone number.
No.
Why the hell? I'm not gonna throw a Skype thing up there. That's crazy.
All right,
Why would I do that?
Who's screening the calls?
No one.
You don't
Nobody.
Screen calls?
No, wait, like
This isn't like day 9 TV. We don't have millions
Sean,
of dollars. Screen.
I am literally alt-tabbing, and here come the calls.
You should have brought
No.
some day nights with you.
Take the
okay,
first
I hope
one.
one of the
To do
day
your
nights
slave
show
labor.
up. Dude,
Take the call.
dude.
And
I'm
callers,
not
you got
gonna
to speak up because the microphone or the speaker's not that loud.
All right,
actually.
here it
Okay, here's the first call, and please,
You're about
for
to
the
get
love of
banned
God.
from Twitch. I'm sorry, JP. You're about to get banned from Twitch.
Why am I gonna get banned from Twitch?
From what the callers say on air.
Oh no, that's fine.
Shit. It's all right. I'll take that risk.
I can't believe you just
You won't actually
provided
get
that.
banned.
Did
but
they hang up? What is this?
One guy hung up, but we're gonna take this call. Here we go. I'm really nervous
Uh-oh.
right now.
This is terrifying.
Hello, welcome to State of the Game. How's it going?
Hey, what do you, crap, what?
Is he more drunk than all of us?
Dude, I just heard that.
He's got to mute. Please mute the stream caller. This is a brilliant idea.
If you're
What do you
speaking
guys
in NonY
think of the
language,
WCS
speak
Europe finals
English.
and how they shaped up?
Sean, did you hear that?
No, I made out nothing.
Caller, can you repeat, please, and mute the stream?
What do you think of the results of the WCS Europe finals?
Oh, what do you think of the results of WCF?
Wait, hold on.
Wow.
What's your name?
Questions.
And what is
What's
your
your
name?
My name is Kash Patel.
I think that's a fake name.
Something Patel. Something Patel.
Who's lapel?
Akash Patel?
You're just being
Oh,
rude.
Akash
No.
Patel. Yeah. Well, allow me to say thank you so much for the reasonable question.
Exactly.
What did we think? You know, I think that about WCS, I had the same reaction as everyone, where I was like, oh, Grubby didn't make it through. Come on, MC. Oh, MC lost. And then I saw Duck Duck start crying, and I was like, I love him so much. I love emotion. And now I'm like cheering for him in the finals.
Does he have a chance in the finals, though, Sean?
I mean, no.
He's not on his side.
Yeah, I mean, like, Duck Duck is an excellent player, but,
Yeah.
like, when you go to... When I looked at the player lineup and his group, I was just like, ugh. But now I'm rooting for him. He's, like, the underdog story now. I mean, so often it's the faceless Korean, like, oh, it's another Korean one. He's the enemy of the foreigners. But now he's, like, a huge fan favorite, and I hope he does well. And I hope he cries a lot harder on stage, because I will weep with him.
What do you think of the WCS Europe finals?
Well, as always, just hats off to ESL. I thought they put on a great show, and in a day and age where it's kind of it's in vogue to be upset with WCS, I feel like they're one of the shining lights that is like, wow, that's a really good show.
Yeah.
I was laughing because when I saw all the Protoss, but then I saw one Terran at the top and one Zerg at the bottom, I had this weird, awesome dream where it was a TVZ finals anyways, but Grubby ruined that by killing Vortex, and MMA, he just didn't make it in the finals, but it was a big shocker. Duck Duck beating MC and MC even making it to the finals. I think the unfortunate thing about Duck Duck beating MC is that one of the cool storylines of MC making it to the finals of a major tournament gets lost because MC's been quiet. He hasn't been his typical MC self. Like, he's been in the round of 8s, round of 16s, but then losing, whereas 1 or 2 years ago, this was the guy. He was right behind MVP in winnings. But because Duck Duck wins, nobody remembers that MC is... he also had a great tournament.
MC's now the #1 money-making player of all time.
That did happen there, yeah.
And it's like, what, like 110,000?
Apart from Pro League or something was like the one little stipulation or something, right? Or not team leagues? Maybe it's team leagues?
Maybe
no.
maybe in StarCraft 2 is what you mean.
Yeah.
Outside of Brood War, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like, if you include Brood War, then J-Dong's, like, smoking everyone. But like
And Flash, yeah.
And Flash, yeah, Flash.
Yeah.
Flash.
But MC, like, he's playing better than what he has recently, but it's still, like, kind of clear that he's not anywhere near what he was. Like, he was like pioneering new ground of like Protoss timings. Like, he would kill opponents that I thought were unkillable, but he would just do like the sickest timing ever. And
His force fields were perfect back in the day too.
Yeah,
that's kind of what he's known for.
His control, but then I think his builds too, because he would just make more units than you thought were possible at that time. And so a lot of like Terrans and Zergs and even Protosses in PvP were cruising along with their builds thinking, oh, nobody's ever killed me at this time. And then they play MC in an important match for the first time, and MC's like, actually, I can kill you at that moment. I'd love to see that MC really come to fruition in Heart of the Swarm, because with a lot of the new Heart of the Swarm units, mainly I think the Mothership Core, I feel like MC of old plus the Mothership Core would be so sick. And so I'm still cheering for MC. On State of the Game a long time ago, I talked a lot of shit about MC. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I do.
Well, get that clip open.
Yeah, open that clip.
It's up there. I'm sure it's up there.
Seriously, it's like, I don't know. I mean, Duck Duck won, but it wasn't the highest level. I think WCS could have a higher level of play finals. I'm gonna be that guy again and just be like, it wasn't the sickest finals I've ever seen skill wise, but it was an entertaining finals.
That's actually a really good point, because Europe was the one where we saw foreigners dueling, like Stefano in the finals of the previous WCS, with the Koreans.
Yeah.
This time it was Grubby Vortex, Welmu, but for the most part, foreigners started. I mean, MMA tore it up, Duck Duck, MC in the finals. It was kind of like Europe was the last bastion of foreigner hope. So I'm hoping this is a hiccup, because I do like that I like foreigner versus Korean, and we're not getting that in NA, so I wanted that in WCS EU. So we'll have to see if they do that in Season 3.
I'm not going to lie, though. Like, I think I'm really glad about no region locking. Like,
really?
I'm thrilled about it, yeah. Because, I mean, the caliber of play of, like, the Korean players who are in WCS NA was just so high. That was really fun to get the chance to watch a Pult Jaedong final. That's a cool final, and it gets to be a final. It wouldn't happen if it was region locked.
Right.
I mean, I think I will say it totally stinks for a lot of like North American players.
I mean, that was my next question.
Are we going to get into this conversation?
Well, we're just getting into it.
Region locking?
It's been brought.
I'm taking it straight there. I'm taking it straight there.
I have a strong opinion on this.
Let's do it.
I don't think the issue is region locking on the big premier scale. I think the issue is that there's no small scale intermediary tournaments. Like, what is the path for a North American player right now? Okay, well, you get on the ladder, and then you hope someone notices you, gets you on a team. You're in a Grandmaster League now. There's a lot of strong Grandmasters who are sort of nameless.
Then they send you to a DreamHack.
Yeah, and then you gotta get sent to a DreamHack, and then you gotta like go in a Challenger League and run deep in there. Like, what happened to like a weekly tournament that was like, you know, $400 North American time zones, not North American region lock, but North American time zones. So you'd get, okay, well, it starts at 5 p.m. and it's going to run till midnight. Okay, well, you know, you'd get a whole lot of people who would start playing in those in the same way that Nerchio got a lot of fame from the Go for SC2 Cups. Hyun got a lot of notoriety from the Go for SC2 Cups and the Playhem dailies and like the IPL thing that he won a lot of times in a row. What was that, the Fight Night thing?
Fight Club?
Fight Club, that's right.
I think it was Fight Club.
IPL Fight Club, yeah.
Yeah, like there's not this like layer of very simple tournaments with a little bit of motivation, because that honestly was what totally supported Brood War, like the World Game Tour tournaments, like just fun little tournaments that didn't even have that much on the line. The finals, the PG Tour, it was something to aspire to that wasn't just, well, I'm going to mindlessly ladder and hope that I
hear you. It's just when you say support and Brood War together, I start to internally die a little bit more inside, because you're like, yes, the support of like mousepad sponsorships.
Yes, so support's definitely the wrong word. It's like motivate is the more appropriate word. Yeah, like for me, I'd be like, well, I'm laddering a lot. You know, I have my completely fucked up sleep schedule where I'm getting up at 2 a.m. and playing with Koreans and to like have to go to school at 9 a.m. So why do I do that? Oh, there's a simple little tournament with 32 players and you have to have a certain rank. And then I'm just like, okay, well, I got to do that on Thursday. I got to work for that. And then it's like a way to break in. So
who does that fall on then right now in StarCraft 2?
Who's at fault?
That? No, like who does it fall on? Like
who does that fall? I was like, well, who do we hate
Sean,
now?
Who fucked up? No. Who fixes that? Is that a Blizzard fix? Is that one of these other tournaments to fix that? Is that someone create a ladder online? Like, what's the fix?
I will say for any of you watching, if you create a very simple entry tournament with a very small prize pool that's very regular and well run, excellent players will show up.
It's a tough problem though, because even at the tail end of Playhems, they were getting kind of overran by Koreans, and Playhems in terms of exposure was always bad anyways. Like, you want to Playhem and It used to be that there was a thread that kept up to date on the people that won play-ins, but even that stopped getting updated.
You'd have to win 10
You'd have to win several
to get noticed.
So,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, one of the things I look to is I like, and it's obviously not a sustainable model because it needs to be bigger, but even the most recent Red Bulls kind of tugged in a lot of up-and-coming foreign players.
That's
and then,
true.
for the most part,
That's still an invite-only process,
Nestea.
though, right?
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
So if Red Bull took their invitational, I mean, it's not sustainable. What are they going to do? Fly in 32, 64 guys? Like, that's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
I guess it does have to be online, but the problem is, like, you don't tell a Korean they can't come in because that's racist. And then, like, online tournaments, they don't really work out anyways because nobody cares who wins those.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
You know,
It's really hard.
actually,
Let me paint a different picture, though.
yeah.
Let's
Paint
go
it
back
for
to
us,
the
Tyler.
WCS rules. Let's say it's residence-based, not citizenship-based, but you got to live in the region that you want to compete in.
Isn't that what it is?
No,
No,
because there's a
it's-
shitload of people that just fly
Oh,
in.
because wait, Mox and Jim had to there's the whole visa thing, so that was just
Yeah, there's a lot of people commuting internationally for WCS. It's like, so let's say people had to live there, and I don't know how you prove that. Whatever, forget about the
Yeah.
technical things. Let's say we figure it out. So residents only, and then you get a situation where those people are probably moving in with other players. They're not getting a studio apartment somewhere and just living by themselves. You're creating North American-based teams that naturally North American players could join. So it's like you have Koreans in them.
You know what that is, Tyler?
What's that?
You're talking about the LCS, which is kind of what the WCS was trying to be. They pay housing and they
Yeah,
give a salary to teams, so it's feasible for them to be like, oh, we're in this region, we bring over our 10 guys, 5 guys, whatever,
Yeah.
and it's not on the burden of the team to do that. WCS wants to have that model because they've put it out there a little bit, but I'm wondering if they're shying away from this because it's not feasible. They want it to be offline where everyone lives in that region.
Yeah.
But what do you say, like NA right now, they're like, hey guys, by the way, in January, we need you in studio. So can you figure that out? And they'll be like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself so hard. And it won't work. So then they won't do that. But if you
yeah.
have the LCS model where they're like, here's $25,000 to figure it out, we need you to play in studio, they could do it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is that that I feel like is not addressing the issue, which is that North American players are so astoundingly much worse than European and Korean players. Like the problem is, how do you motivate or provide enough practice for those people to level up? Because I mean, what you're saying,
The argument would be if you brought in those good
I'm
players,
saying if those
it
guys are
raises the
living together
practice.
Yeah, yeah.
and they're playing on the ladder together.
Oh, I thought you were talking about just like just like you put Hero in San Francisco.
It would be
and
a
give them
bunch of
good connection
Koreans,
to
but
the-
to raise a skill level, you're going to have to bring over Koreans.
yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean?
it's a weird
Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially it's kind of hard to stay motivated as a North American player because you
Sure.
just have to grind really hard and work really hard for one shot, and then it misses, and you're like, okay, I retired.
Well, even the one
Yeah.
shot, sometimes you can't even like support yourself on. You have to do so many. I mean, I look at like the EG, probably obviously the most successful foreigner team, right? Name one player on their team that solely lives off of earnings and doesn't do anything else that is not like a fucking tip-top player.
Just Stefano. I mean,
Yeah, there's only like 3 that I could probably name. Like Greg
And
was doing it
it's-
for a
yeah.
while, but then as he started to kind of do more shows.
you don't like it's in StarCraft. It's always been a bit of a misnomer that you could live off of tournament winnings. Like even the big, I mean, the big guys, which is like 5 of them. Yes, they can.
Yeah.
But
The
everybody else, you
MVPs
need a
of the
salary, you
world.
need support. All the Koreans have their Juanis and their father hens that usher them around and pay for everything because
Right.
their money goes into the savings because they're planning for the future.
So, like, even if the motivation's there, the motivation to do what? To win a tournament and not get enough money to, like, live for that month? Or to get enough money to live for that month and that's it?
Where the salary comes in. Like,
Right.
that's and I hate. Listen, like I really do appreciate what Blizzard's doing with WCS in spirit, and I'm glad that they're open to talking about ways to improve it. But as it is right now, the issues we're discussing, as far as I'm concerned, it is becoming a spread out Korean scene. It's not
really
hopeful
is,
for
yeah.
foreigners. What foreigner in WCS is flourishing? Really, it's Scarlet right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scarlet is that it?
And she's been in Korea for what, the past 6 months?
Long time.
8 months, something like that? Yeah. So,
I think I might. Some of that might be like totally wrong because I know the wrist issues were pretty significant.
Right, right.
If you look at other sports, like real sports, mostly it's amateurs, people going to school full time, and there's a whole system set up where you're not a full-time athlete, but you're working your ass off while keeping your other options open, and then you transition. I still feel like StarCraft, it's possible with that. I'm the first person to say you don't have to practice 10 to 12 hours a day to get to a pro level. That I think there are talented people out there that can practice. They can find 40 hours a week. That's not 10 to 12 hours a day, but 40 hours a week is enough, and they can still get good grades in school. And if they want to sacrifice their whole social life, which I'm not even making fun of, because if they have a passion for StarCraft, they can do school, they can do StarCraft, and they can try to make a career out of it. And I think if you do that through high school and you do that through college, that's 8 years of time that you're playing at an amateur level while never sacrificing any other career path. And if you're not anywhere near pro by that time, well, you're probably not going to be a pro. That's what we did. I was school full.
I think that's what everyone.
School full time.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone did in esports.
But
really.
I think it keeps coming back to it's not like a financial support issue. It's not the question of is there a tournament that you can win and then support yourself, because that's what it means to be pro. It's a skill level problem and it's a motivation problem. That people need to have that motivation, because that's what I was talking about when I was in college, and I was getting up at 2 a.m. and playing for 7 hours until I went and got breakfast around 9, and then I'd go to school, and I would come home exhausted at 6:30 p.m. and be like, Jesus, I need to go to bed now. And I didn't get to do a lot of the, fun night hanging out stuff, because I'd get up at 2 a.m. and have a blast, because I had things that I was working for. And I think that that's something that's sort of missing right now, because WCS, I think, is well done, is good. Obviously, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, there's this issue here and that there. But, overall, it's really cool for a lot of pros. Even Grubby said, if you get into the Premier League, it completely justifies being a pro gamer, financially. You get a lot of views. It helps for your team. You get the prize money. You get the entry into future tournaments. That car completely broke my train of thought.
I do want to give a tip of the hat to even Team Liquid. They actually recently instituted that if you're in Premier League, you'll get featured on Team Liquid, which is controversial. I'm sure some people will be against it, but that is actually sick motivation, because streaming is a big deal, and I think that that's kind of a nice little incentive they added on there. I don't disagree with what you're saying, Sean. I just feel that there's several issues that I feel like I don't bring them up idly. I want to say that. I'm appreciative of what Blizzard's done, and the WCS model in spirit is really important and something that we should embrace.
Yeah.
But if someone were to come in and be like, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby decree that WCS is done. We will not change it. I would fucking panic. I would actually panic, because right now, with how it's set up with Europe, NA, and Korea, it's a stagnant, dominating streaming session of something that needs improvement, because right now it's Koreans in 3 different regions that they're not really associated to. MVP flies in the night before at EU, gets fucking donked on because he's like, sup, I won last time, I don't give a shit.
He leaves.
Then he loses, and we're kind of like, MVP, you got to work hard. And he's like, okay, I guess I will. So then he comes back from an 0-1 against Amaga, which is one of the guys that did really well in Premier before that, to get back into Premier League because he took it serious. But that's the kind of that shouldn't be WCS. You shouldn't have guys flying in the night before because they don't really care. They're like, I'm a Korean, I'm probably going to win anyways. I want loyalty. I want, like you said, exposure, encouragement, motivation for foreigners. And I think that does mean, if not support, then certainly some kind of system where it's not squelching out the foreigner, and then it's like, come watch the Koreans play in Santa Barbara, California instead of online. And people kind of show up, and it's cool. But how long does that go for?
The other thing, if they want to make it increasingly offline, and that can kind of encourage you to become a resident of that region to cut down on the travel costs. But you look at America, the travel costs are still significant for someone who's flying coast to coast or just any flight at all. And it's really, if they're going to kind of make it so offline that you kind of have to live in the studio city, I think that I don't really like that.
They can only do that if they do the LCS thing where they pay you.
Yeah, they have to pay for that, because otherwise it's just favoring the sponsored players, the already successful players, or it's asking you to go all in as a StarCraft pro gamer and just cut out whatever other life you have going on in whatever place you're already set up in. So if their plan is just to make it increasingly offline and just do that, I hope that they pay for flights. But I don't see the problem in just having a residential requirement.
It's
I
pro
think
and
the
con.
only problem
It's
is
pro and
if
con.
not enough talent comes. I think that's the only
But
that's the only
there's-
scare.
I
There's
agree with
always
what
gonna
Sean
be
said, though.
talent,
Like,
I
if it
think.
is NA region locked, I mean, we saw this with the last WCS. Part of that was because it was tacked on to an MLG, which I think it was never going to be a big show. But it was Vibe versus...
Well, not citizenship, but residence that you have to move.
right, so you have
there.
to move in.
Yeah, so I would think
Then it would
that
be Polt versus...
some talent
you know.
could come. I don't know. I don't know
I
how
think,
much talent
to
would
be
live
honest,
there.
and-
I'd want some, but not as much as we have right now.
I'm not afraid to give credit to this. I like the LCS system on this. I like that they go to each region and they say, if you make it into our Premier League, we will give you that money. I mean, it created this cool drama, too. Like, if you, I don't know if you guys follow LoL, but, like, Marn's team...
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I like drama. That was sick ass drama. Like it was like
That was
DJ
drama.
Wheat was involved, kinda, and there was like
Yeah.
money going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then like big
that
ass
was the
blog
good
came
type of
out.
drama because
Yeah,
there's no Skype blogs. It was actually like real drama about money
going back and
real
forth.
shit. Not guys. I took
All right.
a screenshot of Chan's man's show that he already announced twice on Twitter. But let's use the Skype chat anyways.
Okay, so that's joking
Anyway.
aside. Joking
Anyways.
aside, though, the reason I like that system is because that we're talking about the reward of like Team Liquid giving you the featured stream. Imagine your team just won. I'm pulling this number out of my ass. I don't really remember it. AG Garfield over there would. That's double G's. Anyways, he would know. I think it's like $25,000. It's like you can find a residential place. Here's $25,000, and your team gets a salary on top of whatever your team's paying you. And if you lose Premier after that season where you live there,
Yeah.
then
Then
you
you're
don't
out.
get it anymore. you know?
I think that's a good system. I don't really know what out of the LCS like what is bad about the LCS.
Well,
What-
I'm
what's
glad
the
you
bad
asked
part
that.
about that?
I don't like it, it's basically it's super heavy-handed. Imagine any other League of Legends content outside of LCS.
Oh, yeah,
you
there's none.
can't.
There's none.
They control it.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
In part, things like SE2L would go down the drain, but everything else. I think the cool thing about StarCraft 2 that I've learned is there's so many talented and smart people out there that you would, if anything, want to grow that. You want to encourage that, as opposed to be like, we have the best ideas. Get fucked, and then they just run their league the way they want.
Is that how they're actually doing it over at
They have a
Riot?
voiceover guy that
Yeah,
does
no, I
that.
think
They're like,
that's on the business
they're like,
cards.
get
right?
this guy to aisle 6. We have an announcement. And he's like, walks up, he's like, what do we got? The whole community? Great. Get fucked. Pulls it out.
Oh God, Riot's just thinking ahead always.
They did a good job with that. But like I said, if I was a LoL player, and I remember this transition by the way, there was a couple commentators that came out and were like, hey guys, I'm retiring because I didn't get picked up into Riot's company, so I don't have a job.
You're right.
And everyone's like, oh, I'm sorry about that.
Get fucked.
Anyway, but then they'd like move on. Like that would suck because
Brought him back to L6, yeah.
you know, I like the idea of LCS, like we said, with bringing in players, supporting talent. But I don't like the idea of ironclad. This is how we do it. And
Sure.
WCS
So,
is kind of like that.
I got a weird question. Okay, so we all play StarCraft.
At least 3 of us play StarCraft.
Yeah,
yes.
I still like the idea that.
His face is twitching.
Dude, no.
I used to play StarCraft.
No, JP plays StarCraft, but at a whole other mind game level.
Oh
man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, those sessions are the funnest. When I call JP, I'm like, what's going on? All right, this is what needs to happen. Anyways, like, okay, so just throwing it out there, what would you think if the prize pool were, say, cut in half for WCS? And then there was, like, stipends to provide support for players to go and to be somewhere like that. Would you feel like the motivational structure, like, for you would change or for teams would change?
I feel like the prize pool for WCS isn't so incredibly stunning that you could cut it in half. I know this is just 4 guys who have no idea the numbers behind Blizzard, and obviously they are spending a lot of money, so
Yeah,
thank you to Blizzard, but I would ask that they spend more. And I know that's, again, a common community airheaded thing, like, you guys should just spend more money. That makes sense to me, but I feel like if you're going to do WCS correctly, you have to support it that way because for the reasons we discussed, basically.
You know, let me just note that the fine Mr. Oh God, I'm going to screw up the name. Was it Pavel?
Alcapaz.
The wonderful gentleman who called in. Look at the discussion that emerged from that. Patel. I knew it wasn't Pavel.
Oh. Okay.
I don't understand foreign names
I didn't know what
either.
the hell you were
I'm gonna be honest with you.
referencing.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Thank you, Pavel. And JP's like, well,
Those are
I
good
didn't
questions.
plan the show. Keep going, Sean. So
I do have one last.
What? Sean was trying to like talk.
no, it was
No,
great.
he was
No, like,
done.
thank
Okay.
you. Let me
That
say
was it.
We've
He had a
got-
fluff
Sincerely,
point.
thank
was
you.
it.
That was
All
We
right.
Yeah,
got
fluff point.
chemistry going on here.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk to know what the other's thinking.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sick.
I have one last point
talking
that I
about
want to
Tyler.
throw out
They're like
there.
linked at the sphincter. Or something.
Good for
I don't know.
them. Yeah. That's cool.
And then more Collins. Let's do this.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe-
we actually
maybe
have
a
breaking news,
refill.
but go ahead.
Okay. I think there are actually, there are definitely more people that we consider pro players than the scene can actually support. So I think we're almost always
Yes.
setting ourselves up for disappointment because, like, no matter how much support we can reasonably expect, there's still going to be a whole lot of names where you read that name and you're like, oh, shucks, he can't be a pro gamer. He didn't make the cut. Myself included. My fans would, with where my skill level's at, Jeff too, we wouldn't make the cut, to be honest, of what the scene can support right now. And, like, I think that's something the community has to consider, or at least be aware of, so that you're not so disappointed, like, every time things
Fair
fall
point.
short.
Absolutely.
We actually have, and it's kind of hard to balance with your motivation argument, because it's kind of weird. It's like, if we're not motivated enough, then why do we have so many people that are still trying to be a pro gamer when they're really not making it?
Yeah, that's fair. That's a great point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both of you though. To be honest, like
Yeah,
there should be more
there's
motivation.
like a,
but then there are people that are like, I quit my job, I dropped out of college, I'm diamond now, but in 2 months' time, and you're like,
whoa!
Are we taking them down?
there's more to being successful than saying I want to be successful at this thing. Like, there's more to motivation is more complex than that. That you have to have more than just like, I want this thing, and all of a sudden you're actually feeling the right feelings to pursue that thing fully. So I think there are people that are going for it, and I think the scene isn't set up to, like, get the most potential that the talent that these people have, which again comes back to people saying, oh, shucks, this guy can't be a pro gamer, because they can see that talent too. They can see the hard
Yeah.
work that could come from
I
it.
wonder if there's a way to like just say, okay, anyone who's good. Let's create like a metric. There's some way to measure if you are good.
No, we got this chemistry
Continue.
over here, guys.
Continue.
We, can,
We
like,
have
chemistry. We have chemistry
over here.
Tons
Just
of chemistry.
continue.
Fucking
Where'd
science
you
over here,
learn that shit
motherfuckers.
from? Where'd you learn that shit from?
Breaking Bad. I don't know.
good show, Sean. We're listening though. Seriously, continue,
Quality
please.
show, yeah. Well, I wonder if there's a way to just label like, okay, so we have all like the good players. We are, or let me not use such an all-encompassing term, like the excellent players. And then there's a league below that where it's great players, and you can enter in leagues for great players. But if you're excellent, you're literally like not allowed to do that. In the same way they have like amateur versus professional leagues, where if you have made money in this sport, you can't enter in the amateur leagues, and it's a chance to have like the clear proving grounds. Because right now, that's such a great point. Like, if you do North American tournaments, yeah, all the Koreans are going to be like, okay, well, I'll get up early and make $100 every weekend.
Yeah, I guess for me the greater evil is so far I don't know that we have a system for those greater players yet.
Yes.
Ghost User moves to France to find support because Complexity was like in talks with either equaling or even but reducing his contract when he was definitely beating Polt at MLG and winning big things. But Complexity was faced with the fact that Ghost User's not the most like faceable guy. So they're like, you're not that, you're not bringing us in that much money despite your results. So we don't have a system in place where Ghost User shines, not because of his results, but because he's not the complete package. Do you guys realize how much right now you actually have to be the complete package? You can't just be a winner because winning is so inconsistent.
To be fair, though,
winning is so passe.
What sport has?
Who wins?
I don't
I'm trying
do
to
that
think of
anymore.
what
I don't
sport
even
doesn't have
compete.
top players that aren't the complete package. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That are just like nerds
I
that
guess-
win, like all of Quake ever.
no, I mean Rafa's kind of a personality.
I'm more making a joke at like Sir Scoots right
Scarlett
now.
would
where
have done
he's
better
so
against
bad.
Polt than J-Dog did.
There definitely have been games where people are. Listen,
J-Dog's my favorite pro gamer.
Should we do
ever,
another
but
call?
Scarlett would have.
We have some.
the whole internet can hear you. I will find out what you're saying.
Dude, seriously, J-Dong for life, but Scarlett looks pretty sick in Zerver staring.
We just heard that reverb over there.
Are we gonna take a break? Because I need to refill this.
No,
and take a piss.
just do it
fill it up.
organically.
I need to take a piss. Where's the bathroom?
It's over there.
You can go there.
Yeah, you
So
just
I'm
go
gonna
take a break.
hold
We'll
your
do a
mic
call.
because I can turn my mic off, but Tyler can't. So, for instance, if Tyler dropped it or something, like you would,
If you drop the mic.
Stop,
you would hear
stop,
that. It
please.
would be really hard.
Think of the audio editing afterwards.
Oh my God, that's a good point.
I'm not going to do it, but someone will.
That guy
Like,
will.
maybe. Anyways.
I like how you removed the overlay. Big shout out to Conrad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that.
What
Yeah.
is going on, Conrad? If you could just, can you actually move
Can
the
you-
overlay? Like if I scoot over here, what happens?
He's not. Is he that good?
Is he that good? Is he
He's
that
in
good?
live text right now, so.
Uh-oh.
Let's take another call.
Well, do we want to? There
Tyler
is some
can come in.
breaking news.
What?
Jenna Bane has left Axiom. She's no
What?
longer the owner of Axiom.
That's not
What?
possible.
No, it's actually possible.
Who
So,
owns it?
That's not possible.
the final message in her blog: I'm leaving Axiom in capable hands of my partner in business and in life, John Total Biscuit Bane. I am more than confident that he will take the team to new heights. I hope to see many of you at future events where I will be cheering Axiom on from within the crowd. Thank you for all of the adventure. Good luck. Have fun. And a blog post on Team Liquid. Jeff, your thoughts?
My immediate thought.
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa.
Here's the thing.
So I got to read. It's a pretty lengthy post, so I'll figure out why. But
Jenna is one of my and I'm not just saying this. I actually mean it. She's one of my absolute favorite people in all of the community. She wears her fucking heart on her sleeve. She cares. She's like a mother to those players, and she actually, and that's not just a cliche, she actually kind of is a mother to those players. I've always felt that this was going to be a tough role for her because Axiom has not been under incredible fire at all. Like, even this ATC thing. Listen, if anyone is any kind of expert on taking shit and being under fire, I nominate myself as captain and lord commander of the think tank for what that's like. And I will tell you, Axiom has done pretty okay in that regard. Granted, everyone's had their problems. But I kind of felt that Jenna, because she wears her heart on her sleeve, was going to be tough in that role. Now, when she says she passes it on to John, Total Biscuit, here's what I feel. And I love Total
where you're
Biscuit.
going with
I
this,
actually
yeah.
do. But if I could, if she would be like, I haven't read her reasoning, but I'm guessing it's something like, this is too much stress on me. I've got a lot going on in my life.
Right.
If she's like, this is like, what's the word for this? Total Biscuit as the
is
the
going
lead for
to
this?
die.
He can't.
No. For any of you who don't know, Total Biscuit is a machine. Like, he does a lot of stuff for Starcraft and a lot of stuff for every...
Yes.
Like, he uploads like 1,000 videos a
He's
day.
a one-man, 9-company thing.
Yeah, he is so prolific, and even when he wants to joke around and read NonY's blog and record, it's like he's pounding out work constantly. I mean, he just must like get up, like he must sleep like at his computer, just like retract back. Tyler needs ice. The story's
Sean,
worthless.
Look, Sean, you can't stop talking when someone needs to.
No, okay, look, let me-
We're not all on Skype where it just happens. This is going to happen.
Dude,
I
here's-
once asked him if he's watched Breaking Bad, and he said, yeah, I watched Breaking Bad, but I had
Yeah.
to stop
it was too
because it caused too much stress for me.
Dude, that's why I stopped Breaking Bad. I got too stressed out,
yes,
man.
and
It's
you're
too
another
much.
guy who I would say has a lot of companies, a lot of people counting
Never
on
run
him.
a team, Sean.
I don't want to doubt Axiom
Jeez.
or Total Biscuit because he's a very capable man, but this sounds pretty rough. Like,
Yeah.
John's a great guy, but running a team and being the front man for it? Oh.
So, I feel bad because I've just kind of like skimmed through this, but it seems like it was just too much. It's too much stress, too much.
Oh, she
wear
actually
on a body.
cites Take yelling
Yeah,
at her.
so halfway through the blog, she says, at this very moment, I have a certain Dennis Gillen, a.k.a. Take. Is it
Take is the man.
Take's it.
Just call him Take.
Wishing legal action upon me for a blog post I wrote yesterday explaining what happened behind closed doors regarding Axiom's involvement with ATC, and she goes on to paste the said conversation about that.
Maybe not the best.
Maybe
When
not
a
the
guy's
best
like,
thing.
I will sue you for publicly posting my messages. And she's like, well,
I gotta post this.
if I'm going to
Yeah.
get sued.
Yeah, so you can actually, it is on screen right now, I think. Looks like you were actually taking that, or it was. So yeah.
Hey,
Wait, are we talking about that shit?
Jenna,
that
if
Axiom
you ever
didn't go
listen to
that
this,
thing?
you are awesome. I love you. I'm sorry that you had
Oh,
you felt
oh,
like you had to step down. Total Biscuit, I wish you the best of luck. But this stinks.
Yeah.
The whole thing, it stinks.
Yeah.
It's sad that Jenna feels like she needs to remove herself. And it's in my gambling, if I had to put money on it, man, Total Biscuit's going to have a rough go at it.
Sure.
I think he knows that too, though. I don't think I'm saying anything super revealing here. Like,
yeah, no, I don't know. That's rough. It's rough.
All right, let's take a call.
Yeah, let's do it. Take a call.
Let's fucking do a
Look,
call.
Jeff, you want to run the show
Let's
with
take
me?
a call.
We got this, man.
I was just thinking on that thought, and it's kinda
Dude,
crazy.
Jeff and
All
I
right,
have
here
been
we go.
commentating together. The chemistry just completely.
All right, we're taking the call. Hopefully this works out.
My dog.
My dog.
Hello, caller. Welcome to State of the Game. How's it going?
Hi, my name's Sean. I have a question for the Protoss. Sorry, let me mute the stream. I
No,
heard myself
what's the
talking
question?
and it, give me a thought. I'm wondering what you guys think of Minigun and Jim's Protoss versus Terran style, where they get a lot of Phoenix. How
Phoenix
viable
glosses.
you guys think it is, if it's going to stay in the metagame for long. I'm a real big fan of this style, but I'm wondering if I should keep doing it or maybe expand my horizons more.
First of all, let me say, fuck yeah, Sean. Like, this is 2 calls in a row where we have great questions. This is, yeah, Sean. Fuck yeah, nice name, too.
He's
Like-
really excited. But he's
Yeah, that
always
was
said it.
great. No,
Good
I think the minigun gym style is really interesting. I'm of the opinion that I think the Oracle first is bad. I think it's not as strong as going straight into Phoenix. Like,
I agree with that.
You have a really one-dimensional play style. You're building stuff that Vikings kill well, so you kind of have to power it out and go for it for a long time. But I think that like it provides a lot of really cool aggressive opportunities if you open with the Phoenix. I think the Oracle hurts it a lot.
For me personally, I think it's an awesome build. Like, part of your question was, should I stick with it? Will it remain in the metagame? I think absolutely. If anything, it's one of those builds you'd want to rotate in, because whether you do go with the Oracle or not, let's say you don't go with the Oracle and instead you're hiding the 4 or 5 Phoenix, a lot of times you can jump on that 2 Widowmine, 4 Marine drop, or Hellions, or Widowmines, or Marines. Like, that's a pretty common opening from Terran to be low anti-air, high aggression, but also high tech, which means they're not going to have a lot in the way of units. So that's really cool, but that's early game. Late game, I'm still seeing remarkably, and this is something that like internally I'm laughing my ass off about, because Terrans are like, whoa, he's got like 12 Phoenix and he's going Colossus. I guess I just make more Vikings, like even more of the Vikings. Not that there's a whole lot of innovation to be had there. It's not like you pump out Marines, but certainly things like EMP to coat the shields off, get the pickup off the Phoenix, mix in a couple Thors to really pepper in against the Phoenix. Those are cool answers, but what I like about this is it makes the Terran think, and a lot of times they don't have to think in this matchup because they have their answers in place since Wings of Liberty.
Yeah.
Widowmines add a little bit of diversity. Hellbats used to, but once they took away Blue Flame, I don't know about you guys, but I actually don't see Hellbats anymore in TVP, which is
rarely.
really
Literally
weird
none,
because
yeah.
it's just one fucking upgrade and they're still awesome, but don't, whatever. So yeah, definitely keep going with the style and keep practicing with it. It's not like this is what you should do every game, but it's certainly something you should have in your pocket, in my opinion.
Yeah. I've been watching Minigun stream, so I feel like I'm an expert on handling this question.
I second that. You're an expert. Go for it.
No, but I will say that a long time ago in Wings of Liberty, I did Phoenix builds a lot in PvT. It was like one of my favorite pet builds. So I would open Phoenix just because
it was a what build?
A pet build, like a little build that you do.
It was
by
his
yourself.
Tamagotchi.
Oh,
It was like my little Tamagotchi.
I thought you were saying pet.
T.
No,
Like PEP,
Tamagotchi.
like we're at a pep
Let's-
rally.
yeah.
That's like my pet build. Like, I want to get amped up. I'm going to build Phoenixes because I
Tyler,
don't like ladder
call it
points.
Tamagotchi to remove confusion from the future, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my Tamagotchi build.
It's that way all the 26-year-olds watching get it.
Anyway, I ended up sucking at it, and it was a dead end. It never occurred to me to try again in Heart of the Storm.
You're a good storyteller, Grandpa Toss.
This is the best expert ever.
I used to do it all the time. It was one of my favorite
I've
pet
watched
builds. I
Minigun
sucked
stream.
ass at it, but it was one
I
of my
watched
favorites.
his stream. That's not only have I seen the tournament matches, but I've seen his ladder matches.
Expert status unlocked.
No, but it's a great build. It's a way that you can play. I like playing the game like that because it gives you control. Because like if you play the rain style of PvT, which is the way I'm playing a lot right now, you're like sitting back and you're like, whatever you throw at me, I'm going to destroy, and then eventually I'm going to macro up and I'm just going to kill you. That kind of thing. But for 13 minutes game time, you're the Terran's bitch, basically. Like, they can do whatever you want, and maybe you can repel it really efficiently, but you can't take control, right? But with the Phoenix build, you take control, especially if you don't open Oracle, which I strongly agree. Don't open Oracle. I think, especially if you're looking to play this build long term, Oracle is definitely something that can be hard countered. Phoenix, you can just open every time, and it'll be pretty difficult for the Terran to hard counter. You can keep doing that all the time. But I think it's a pretty cool build. Tasia dismantled the fuck out of it to the point where if I ever played Tasia, I would never do that build because he's definitely going to kill you. But I'm assuming our caller, Sean, is not playing Tasia. So I'm going to say keep playing the build. It's an awesome build. It's a fun play style to do. Just go for it.
I'd almost even say, like, try going Colossus and transitioning into Templar. And then balance that with every now and then going Phoenix and transitioning into Colossus. Because I feel like the lessons you learn from each really contribute to each other.
There you go.
Mix them in, sure.
Sean, I hope you got all that.
Yeah, I did. Could I do a little tiny shout out? Is that cool?
Yeah, man,
Yeah, let's
do
some
it.
shout outs, man.
Okay. All right. My in-game name is Escaping Joe, and I'm part of a small team called Team Fervor, and I just want to give a shout out to those guys. Those guys are watching right now too.
Awesome.
Thanks again
Cheers.
for
Cheers.
answering my question. I appreciate it. I love all of you guys. All of you guys are great. So
Thank
thanks.
you. Thank you so
You guys
much.
have a great night.
You too.
You
You have a
too.
good night.
Very nice call.
This is what I
That's an awesome
love
call.
about the StarCraft community, man.
Awesome
There's so
call.
many people
Yeah.
who just
Great.
get it. As people, they just get it.
They get it.
They get it.
Sundance and
You're
everyone.
getting
they get it.
dangerously close. Yeah. By the way, bone to pick with that kid.
You know, he deleted all the MP3s of State of the Game, and they're no longer hosted.
He doesn't get it.
He didn't actually do that. But I'm
Oh,
just-
he didn't? Oh, he gets
They're
it.
no longer hosted, but he's kind of an asshole.
Okay, next call.
Ooh. Let's take another
No
call.
one knows when I'm like joking about Sun. I think we
Dude,
take
that
it
was
too
hilarious.
far.
You know, because like you said the joke, and I didn't get it. And then when you looked at Jeff, I was like, oh, it's a joke. I was like, oh my god.
We had a Twitter conversation last night, and like 3 people texted me like, "Are you really pissed at Sundance?"
Oh my
I'm
god,
like,
that was so funny. Oh, I
no.
like both you and Sundance were cracking me up so much, man.
Yeah. And then he just texted him a midget the next day, and he's excited about it, and we're all good. That's Sundance. That's my former boss. We've been going for like an hour and 10 minutes or so. Let's take a quick break.
Wait, you said we didn't have breaks.
We're
and I had
about-
to
we're
go
about-
off on
we're
my
about- we're
own.
done.
We're taking a break. We're taking a break.
That's
you, you wanted to take a break when I didn't want to take a break.
It took
so
you
got up to take your
70
own break.
minutes to start hosting the show,
Yeah.
but you finally did it. So let's
you took
take
a
a
7-minute
break.
break.
I
at the
have
beginning of the
never
show, didn't you?
hosted a State of the Game sober, so now I'm in the groove, and we're good to go. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more State of the Game episode 100. We'll see you guys then. Hosted